Could the top Republican leaders in the House and on the Oversight Committee finally be willing to give up on holding FBI Director Christopher Wray in contempt? Earlier today, the FBI announced that it is willing to allow the full House Oversight Committee to review a law enforcement document that includes an allegation that Joe Biden, while vice president, was involved in a bribery scheme. It's that document the Oversight Committee was demanding that the FBI director turn over. Now, top Republicans said they had seen the document even before it was shown to them at a secure location at the Capitol. And the document appears to have been an interview with a credible FBI source who was relaying something he heard from a Ukrainian and which even that FBI source said he couldn't vouch for, couldn't verify, didn't know if it was true. Apparently, it was a product of an effort by Rudy Giuliani to dig up dirt on then-candidate Joe Biden. Now, up to now, the Oversight Committee has been insisting they needed the actual document itself. And until now, only House Oversight Chairman, Republican James Comer, and Representative Jamie Raskin, the top Democrat on the committee, were formally given access to the document. CNN reporting that the FBI will brief all members of the panel and allow them to view the document known as an FD 1023. And so it seems that GOP leaders have moved the goalposts, which is a good thing. This is what House Speaker Kevin McCarthy said last night.
Everybody on the Committee of Oversight, Republican and Democrats, have a right to see this unclassified document. If he doesn't come forth and allow everyone to see it, we will move contempt charges against him on Thursday.
Now, that is different from trying to force the FBI to actually hand over the document, which, according to the FBI, would be a violation of protocol and a dangerous precedent to set. But earlier today, the contempt effort appeared to be moving forward. James Comer releasing the resolution targeting the FBI director for contempt of Congress for not fully complying with a subpoena. Part of the resolution reading, quote, "The Speaker of the House of Representatives shall certify the report of the Committee on Oversight and Accountability detailing the refusal of Christopher Wray, Director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, to produce documents to the Committee on Oversight and Accountability as directed by subpoena." Now, Comer had said his committee panel would vote on the resolution tomorrow. If that vote passes, it would then presumably go to the full House. But it seems maybe this crisis has been averted. Joining us now is Representative Glenn Grothman, Republican Congressman from Wisconsin and a member of the House Oversight Committee. Congressman, thank you so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it. So if the entire committee gets to see the document, will that be enough to put to rest the calls for Chris Wray to be held in contempt?
Well, this is a very new development. We haven't talked it over with other members of the committee yet, and I haven't had a chance to talk it over with Committee Chairman Comer. At first blush, it does seem a big step in the right direction. You'd have to, hope that contempt charges wouldn't be issued. It is such an important document because, of course, we have a president right now dealing with Ukraine, dealing with China. The big questions is, does this affect his judgment on these issues? So we're going to meet tomorrow morning and see whether this is an adequate step.
Well, that is a positive step. You mentioned how important the document is, but it is something that Bill Barr, as the Attorney General, had, meaning this came up when he was the Attorney General. He actually held a press conference where he talked about being careful about some of the information coming from Ukrainians. So it's not as if this is a new document, right?
No, but it's will be new to the American public, will be new to the members of this committee. And of course, there's already so much smoke surrounding President Biden, 9 of his relatives getting money here. Like I said, dealing with countries that are so vital, the decisions we make over the next few months, both Ukraine and China, Romania now being thrown into the mix, that, we don't want to take away our ability to get this document if need be.
Let me ask you this.
And I'll point out,
please.
The reason they were holding it back, go ahead, I'm sorry. You've got to remember, it is important that we all have a chance to look at the document and review its significance.
Let me ask you this. You mentioned the Biden family. Look, I've been critical of the way the Biden family was using its name to do deals abroad. But if that's the goal, right, if you're going to talk about how the Biden family kind of cashed in using its name, Is the Oversight Committee also going to investigate?
No, that's not the final goal.
Well,
no.
but you mentioned, I was just quoting you. You just said you said 9 members of the family, right?
No. Right. The reason it's relevant so many members were involved is it goes to the credibility of Joe Biden saying he didn't know about this, right?
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.